like some of the designers, even still to this day, will make patterns for Vogue, you know, and so yeah, I made me a nice suit from him and I loved it. Anyways, okay, so if you want to do a French dart, I don't know if she tells you how high up to go. I don't think she does. She basically just tells you, shows you the method of doing it, okay? So since they did a slash method in here, I will do a slash method for you too, or you could do a pivot. If you do a pivot, let's just mark a little dot about, start right at the seam allowance, so mark a little dot about 2.5 inches up, finished. So if you go up 2.5, mark a dot there, so then you're gonna start there, move it, and then close it up to there, okay? But I will do the slash method, so it doesn't really matter. Sometimes, the pivot method's kind of neat, but you're not seeing what, you're not seeing what's going on underneath. Cut and slash you can kind of see. So, you know, you guys be the judge, whichever you want to do. But the pivot method is quicker though, isn't it, guys? Just whoop, done. Okay. So now, let's redraw. I didn't even do the dart tip because we're doing it from the apex all the time anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Here we go. So now if I go up 2.5 inches from the side here, right about there. All right, so basically the design line is going to be from there to the apex, okay? Like that. Now, sometimes too, guys, you could possibly just cut one leg and then cut that and then scooch it over. You could also do that, but you still have to true the new dart, okay, and cut it out. So I'm gonna kind of show you that as well, but I don't want it, but usually if you get confused, cut the whole thing out, okay? So one leg's being cut. And we're gonna cut to the apex, but not through it. Okay, now, see, you can just close that up, like that, yeah? Okay. If you do this, be careful, like I said, sometimes that line will show, so if you have to mark it out, we'll mark it out. And since there won't be any confusion, like we've got some weird lines over here, I go ahead and cut that dart partly out, okay? Let's put my new dart leg in here. These really aren't that hard, guys, are they? I mean, I know I'm giving you a lot, but this is the thing. You got to get comfortable with these because when we do the princess seam, the book tells you for the back, let's say, move the shoulder, back shoulder dart into the armhole. Okay, it's not going to go over these steps like I'm telling you. You just should know how to do it, okay? So that's why all these little things we're doing, hopefully it will lead up for you to be able to complete full garments. So we'll be good. All right, draw my, to be honest with you, this is my new dart, but I'm going to go down 5/8 to 1/2 inch, and then there's where the new dart tip's going to be. Now, you really, really have to true this dart because what's going to happen is these legs are not equalized. One leg is usually shorter than the other, and you'll see why here in a minute. Okay, my drill hole. Boom. Okay. So this leg is going to be scored because it gets pressed down, or the excess does. I'll come over here and fold it. do. Okay, like there. Tip, tip, tip. Now, you could possibly, well, mine's matching pretty good, doggone it. I want it to be way off to show you what it usually does. Maybe it was wrong to begin with, huh? Okay, hang on. Where's my thumbtack here? All right. Now, I'm going to scoot it over here to where I can get my side seam on the table. Okay. Just like the shoulder seam dipped in when we made that dart, this seam's going to dip in here, okay? So, depending on how tightly fitted you want it, and just so you'll know, in ready to wear, you always like it to fit more than one person in a size 8, yeah? So I'd rather it be a little bit bigger than smaller. That's just kind of the rule of thumb. So when I match this up and remark my side seam, see, it added just a little bit there. Okay, I'd rather you do that, then you have some to take out if you have to, but if it's off of there and it's too small, you have to recut the whole thing, right? Okay, so if you want to tape it, go ahead and tape it, because I always like to cut them rather than do my little thingamabob. But this is the thing, part of this dart is down in here, okay? So when you're cutting it, guys, make sure that you cut it on all the edges, okay? I know, you flinch when I do that, don't you? Because these scissors are like really big. Okay, here we go. Down there and across here. And actually, that's lining up pretty good. Okay. Now, this is a really hard one to put your notches on, and you'll see here in a minute. There we go. So it's going to look like that. If you want to turn it in that way, that's fine. But to be honest with you, so all that gunk wouldn't be down there, if you want to clean finish it and add the seam allowance to it, you can do it that way as well. Or if you do it the pivot method, just make sure you true it and then cut around it, okay? But yeah, I probably, if I was doing this for real, I would be adding my seam allowance and doing it that way. So this is the pickle. If you go and try to put a notch here at the side seam, it doesn't want to go in all the way. So put it as best you can, and because you always have to angle your notch the direction of the dart leg, okay? You wouldn't want to notch it this way if the dart's going up that way, okay? So we'll fix that, and sometimes even in the corner right here it's hard. So that will be notched. I'm going to go ahead and cut it all the way out. To be honest with you guys, I'm going to put seam allowances on here and do it that way, but if you want to leave it this way, it's fine, okay? All right, so mark it same as always. So you guys go ahead and do these two exercises, the pivot method, and then just know that you're going to do the side one for homework and try to do the French dart whichever way you like best.